More goodies have arrived from Hasbro Pulse. Stay tuned, we're going to be unboxing those next. Hey Star Wars fans, welcome back to another video from All Things Star Wars Considered. As always, I'm your host Doug, and today we're going to take a look at a couple of boxes that I just received from Hasbro Pulse. Now, I have a ton of stuff, or I had a ton of stuff on pre-order from Hasbro. Brick and mortar isn't what it once was. So, every time I walk into Target or Walmart, I'm walking out of there empty-handed. So, as much as it pains me to kind of abandon the old toy hunting ways, it's just gotten to that point where it's just easier and less stressful to pre-order everything on Hasbro Pulse. I don't like it, but it's the only way I'm going to get any of these products. So I have a bunch of stuff that I've pre-ordered. A bunch of it's already came in, and now a bunch more is arriving. So we're going to be taking a look at what's in those boxes, and that's all coming up next. Okay, now let's get into this. Now, I have ideas, but I don't even actually know what's actually in this box. So, I mean, it's between, a couple of different characters, but we're going to be opening this up and let's see how this goes. So, oh, I'm seeing it. I'm actually excited for this one. Okay, so let's pull this out. We have talked about this packing material that Hasbro is now incorporating. So we're going to kind of peel this away. And I'm hoping and praying that this figure is everything I thought it was going to be. And let's get that out of here. And yeah, here we have him. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's kind of take a quick look at this. I don't see any veining in the card back. I don't see any dings in the bubble. So this does look like a pretty decent copy. Okay, so here we have it. I've been looking forward to this figure for a long time. This is the new Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. And my buddy George just got his, and he was telling me that I will not be disappointed. And boy, was he right. This figure looks fantastic. The cloak looks great on him. The head sculpt, that is the key. Look at that. That is Alec Guinness. That looks just like the character. He comes with a cloth robe. He has the unlit lightsaber that you can, I'm assuming, pin to his belt. I mean, he's got the cloak on so you can't see, but the way these figures have been, like the Luke and everything, there's usually a little hole on the belt that will attach. Or if you so choose, you can actually put the lit lightsaber in his hand. It's the same classic image that we remember back in the day in '78. They didn't fix this. Some people are disappointed. They wanted to see a blue lightsaber. I'm perfectly fine with it. This is how I remember this figure back when I was a kid. So I'm perfectly happy to see that they haven't really changed the image or corrected it. So in the yellow name pill, it says Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. Of course, he's against the yellow backer. We have the classic Star Wars logo with the double racetrack piping around the outer edge of the card. We have the Luke and Leia Hildebrandt, which is not impeded by this warning label down here. I don't like the warning label, but if they got to put it, that's where I want it. Of course, we have the Kenner logo and 4+. Now let's flip the card over. Let's see. He is VC373, Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it says, at Princess Leia's plea for help, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi embarked on a journey to Alderaan with Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, C-3PO, and hired pilots Han Solo and Chewbacca. And look at this figure. Wow, he looks fantastic. So he's 373, like I already said. And I am so thrilled to be able to add him to my original 12, the OG 12, as I like to call it. And I think when we're done with this video, I'm going to pop him up on the wall, and we're going to take a look at the original 12. Obviously, C-3PO is on an Empire Strikes Back card back, but you know, we're pretty close to getting the original 12 on the New Hope card back. So when we return, we're going to get into box 2. Yes, that's right, you heard me, box 2. All right, and here's the second box. So let's get into this one. And I think by process of elimination, I have a pretty good idea of what is in this box, but we shall see. I feel pretty comfortable that I can kind of use my knife, because they've done such a pretty decent job with this packing material that they've been incorporating. And yep, as I'm kind of getting a quick look, it is exactly what I thought. So let's pull this figure out. And everything's been going pretty well with this packing material, so I feel pretty comfortable that this figure should be in okay condition. So let's start unwrapping him. And oh wow, yeah, this looks awesome. Now here is, it's basically just a repack of the Stormtrooper, and but they've done it on an alternate card back, and I gotta say that I really like this image. It looks pretty sharp. I mean, they have maintained the red name pill and backer, but they have changed this image, and I like it. You know, it's nice to get a Stormtrooper. Let's actually bring in an original, well, not an original Kenner Stormtrooper. This is part of the retro collection, but this is your original Stormtrooper image. And, you know, this is the alternate one. And actually, you know what? I think I have this one close by too. Oh, I do. I actually have the Empire Strikes Back Stormtrooper that came with the carbon freezing chamber playset. So this is already the third different Stormtrooper, you know, as far as card backs go. So let's see if I can kind of drag in the third one. So here's the kind of the progression of the Stormtroopers. You know, I'm sorry I'm in my light. I'm trying to hold them up with two hands. But your original Stormtrooper image, then the Empire Strikes Back one that came with the carbon freezing chamber, and now this one. So let's pull these away. Let me get out of my light so you guys can kind of take a good look at this figure. It comes with the E11 blaster. Obviously, we have the Star Wars logo, the Luke and Leia Hildebrandt, the Kenner logo, and the choking hazard at the bottom. And like I said, I'm liking that they're putting that choking hazard down at the bottom now, because it doesn't impede on this Luke and Leia Hildebrandt. So let's see. I'm not sure. It's VC231, and that's what the original Stormtrooper on the New Hope card back was. So they haven't, you know, they were talking about going maybe like 231B or 231A or something like that, but they chose not to do that, even though they've changed the image. It says, donning sleek white armor, Stormtroopers are elite shock troops, fanatically loyal to the Empire and impossible to sway from the Imperial cause. And there he is with his blaster at his side, and great figure. You know, I didn't really get this to Army build. I actually just got this because I actually liked the alternate card back. So, and I think when I bought this figure, I was close to free shipping, and I added them to get the free shipping, so it was worth it, you know. Hasbro is about to change all their prices. Oh, I think they've already changed all their prices if you go to their site. So I picked this figure up for $16.99, and it's probably the last figure I'm going to pay $17 for, because I believe now they're $20. So let's add the Stormtrooper to the backdrop, and I think I do have another box here. Let's get into that next. Hey, again, it's like Christmas. But no, I had a ton of figures on pre-order, and they just been arriving 1 and 2 at a time. So, you know, again, I do not necessarily like to be doing all this ordering. It takes the fun out of collecting. The collecting I grew up with, you ran to the store and figures were on the pegs, and you never knew what you were going to find, and sometimes you struck out, and sometimes you hit a home run. Now, every time you go to the store, it's a strikeout. So as much as I hate to be doing this, it's kind of what collecting has turned into, but it at least ensures you get the figures, and 99% of the time you're getting them in good condition, and you're not wasting all that gas. So let's kind of get into this one quickly, and let's see what's in this box. So, yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay, and let's see what we have here. And I don't really sweat it as much anymore with the knife. Before I used to be really careful, but now with this new packing material, it's almost a guarantee that you're not going to have any damaged figures. So let's pull that away, and let's see what's in this box. Let's do a VS Toys thing. What's in the box? And, oh, wow. Ooh, we got some Empire Strikes Back goodness here. Let's throw that away. And first and foremost, let's do this one first. We have the repack of Dengar. Now, Dengar, and we'll get to this briefly, was the first vintage collection figure. He was VC01. And he originally came on his original card back, which was a blue name pill with a blue backer and a slightly different image. Obviously, it was more of the image we all recall from the original Kenner days. This one is changed. They've enhanced this character because this isn't what Dengar looked like. I'm sorry, I've said this in the past. This is just done like they've gone all Hollywood with this. They want to make sure that Dengar looks the part. Back then, it was just some regular random dude in a suit. And, he was so, background, he was a background character. So, and he never spoke. He was only on camera for a few minutes. So it really didn't matter. But as the time has gone on and the expanded universe has kind of given him a little bit more of a backstory, it became necessary for Dengar to become a little bit less mysterious and a little bit more prominent, and that's what they've done with this image. What I am noticing, and I don't really know if I have Dengar here. Oh, I do. Wow, I can't believe it. What a fluke. He's actually close by because he was on the wall and he fell. And I have yet to put him back on the wall. So let's bring in the original Dengar. And if you can see this, I mean, like I said, it's like that blue name pill and the blue backer. If you look at this image, that's the original Dengar from Empire Strikes Back. That's not the same character. They've enhanced this to make this guy look a little bit more mean looking. But I can see that Hasbro re-releasing this figure, they have done away with all the washes. This character looks grungy. His all the whites on his particular costume are gray, and on this one they're white. So this is Dengar when he started out his career, and this is him at the end of his career. So very distinct difference in these two card backs. So let's pull him away. We've seen enough of that, and let's just get into this briefly. So you have the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back logo, single racetrack piping around the outer edge of the card. No Luke and Leia Hildebrand, so they can add that choking hazard up in that top corner. 4+, and there's the Kenner logo. So let's flip it around. And you know what? I want to just kind of quickly check to see if they've changed. Yes, they have, because this one just says, like, celebrate the Star Wars saga that, brought you to a galaxy far, far away. This one says, crude and slovenly, Dengar was nonetheless an effective bounty hunter. While some hunters prided themselves on finesse and style, Dengar preferred firepower and destruction. And that looks cool. And look, he's VC1A. So that's what I was talking about with the Stormtrooper figure. Whoop, the Stormtrooper figure in the back there. I thought that he should have been like, say, 231A, and they didn't choose to do that. And they've done the exact same thing with Dengar. Why didn't they do it with the Stormtrooper? But figure looks great. If you didn't pick up Dengar the first time around, this is definitely, a figure that you have to pick up the second time around. Yeah, he doesn't have that wash that really made him look the part. Now he looks a little bit too clean, but it's still nevertheless a great figure to add to your collection. So let's add him to the backdrop, and let's get to the next figure in that box. And this I have been waiting for. We've all been waiting for the Empire Strikes Back Imperial Snowtrooper figure, and it's finally here. And now that I have it in person and I'm looking at it, this figure looks great. They didn't scrimp on the wash on this guy. His boots are dirty. All his dusters and all his armor and soft goods, you know, air quote soft goods, because I mean it's all plastic with the exception of the skirt, looks weathered. You know, it doesn't look white. These guys were tan. They were kind of more to the beige, you know, because it was dirty. You know, they were dirty. And they captured that with this figure. I really like the head sculpt on this. It looks really good. I like the eyes. They seem a little bit smaller. That's what we needed out of the Snowtrooper. Smaller eyes, and they captured that. Of course, he comes with his E11 blaster. He comes on his original red backer with the red name pill. This is still that same classic image from the Empire Strikes Back Kenner days. And it says Imperial Snowtrooper Hoth Battle Gear, and I believe that is a slight gaffe because I want to say back in the day it said Imperial Stormtrooper Hoth Battle Gear. So that's a little bit of a departure from what we're used to. Still, of course, this one obviously has the Empire Strikes Back logo as well, single racetrack piping. Without the Luke and Leia Hildebrandt, they can put that warning choking hazard in the upper right-hand corner, and there's your 4+ in the upper left-hand corner. And basically, they're just trying to warn you because a child could swallow that gun. So let's add him now to our backdrop. And I am thrilled to be adding these figures to my collection. So thanks for watching. And I think when we return, I'm going to show you Ben Kenobi in his rightful place in my collection room. So stick around for that. Okay. And now I have been able to add all the mains to my banner. As you might recall in an earlier video, I have used the top part of my room to display all my vintage collection figures. And I was able to add Luke and Leia recently. Of course, R2 had come out prior to that. Of course, Chewie came out. Last week we looked at Han Solo. Now we've been able to add Ben Kenobi to that. This is the one kind of glaring omission in the whole thing. Yes, it's a vintage collection figure, but it's C-3PO, and he's on the Empire Strikes Back name pill. So Hasbro, you got to get on that. We need a New Hope C-3PO. Of course, we have the Jawa, we have the Tusken, we have the Stormtrooper, we have the Death Squad Commander. That could use an upgrade, but at least he's on the original card back. And then lastly, we got Vader. And I'm running out of space here. I'm on a stool trying to do this. Of course, I got a couple others there, like the droids and the X-Wing Luke. So, by adding the new Hammerhead, which I'm going to be doing shortly, we will now have the original 20. So that is great news. And thanks for watching. And of course, this all was because of these two figures that just came within the past week. Okay, now Dengar is in the corner. I was finally able to get him back up there. Reason being is because that's where I shoot. And as you can see, this is my backdrop. And when he fell, there was no way you were going to get him back up there easily. So you have to kind of get a stool and kind of lean over and get the thumbtack back in the wall. But he has safely returned to the corner, and that kind of completes my Empire section now. So we've got the vintage collection full OM, Dengar, and then of course all the Bespin guys, Lando, Lobot, Cloud Car Pilot, the two Bespin guards, Bespin Luke, Bespin Han, the two Bespin Leias, Bespin Gown and Bespin Escape. Of course, we have the Hoth General Via's figure, and now the Snowtrooper has made it to the wall. So the Empire section of the vintage collection border is now really starting to shape up. We still need a couple of vintage collection figures for these guys. These have all been done, well, 2 of the 3 of these have been done in the vintage original trilogy collection, but we really need to kind of round out some Empire figures. Of course, we've got Yoda and Dak and Leia and Luke and we still need an FX7, but we're getting there. So, and a 21B. So thanks for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the recent acquisitions from Hasbro Pulse. I got so many figures in. I figured let's just unbox them all and do a video about that. I really had something else on the docket, and it's going to take a little bit of time and energy to do that. And recently I've just been very, very busy. As you may or may not know, I skipped a video couple of weeks back. You know, I really wanted to shoot one that week, but just didn't have the time. Unfortunately, sometimes life gets in the way of the things you enjoy most. This channel for me is like therapy. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy sharing Star Wars content with the collecting community. It's good for me, and I think it's good for others to kind of, you know, take in some of my my vast knowledge of this franchise. You know, I'm not bragging or anything, but again, I've said it in the past, when you devote 40 plus years of your life to this franchise, some stuff's going to kind of stick in this brain. And when I open my mouth, it all comes out. And a lot of people will actually comment and say, you know, thanks, I didn't know that, you know. So I feel like that I'm able to educate some people. It might not be, you know, really important information, but, you know, it's information nevertheless. And if I can teach about this franchise, then I'm going to do so. Now, let's get to, I'm sure you've noticed I've added Ace Frehley to my backdrop. We obviously recently lost Ace. 2025 has been a tough year. You know, most notably, we lost my dad, you know, and that was the toughest one. And then obviously, you know, we lost a lot of childhood icons, you know, at least my childhood icons. We lost Ozzy. We lost Hulk Hogan. Countless others, and now we've lost Ace Frehley. And Ace was 74 years old. He was still fairly young. He was young at heart, definitely, and he was still performing. And this is kind of like, I don't want to say a fluke, but, you know, at 74, little things can turn into big things, and then that's it. So I am sorry to see Ace go. I grew up with Kiss. My cousin turned me on to them. I loved Kiss as a kid. I loved all their music. I actually, the only CD I have of their solo projects was Ace. That one was the best one. Speeding Back to My Baby. And, you know, New York Groove obviously was their big hit off of that, but I liked all the other songs, more so than New York Groove. So it was a hard loss. So Kiss Army, if you're hearing this, please, you know that you're not alone in your mourning of Ace. He was a great guitar player, and even though I'm a drummer, I still really appreciated what he brought to Kiss Nation. So sorry to see him go. Unfortunately, that's the nature of things. Let's start to move on. Let's start to wrap things up for this week's segment. Before we do so, I'd like to thank everybody for the continued support of my humble little channel. I can't do this without you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't done so, though, I ask you, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Give it a like. That helps the channel as well. Please, if you have a question or a comment, please leave them in the comment section, and you know I'll get back to each and every one of you. Want to remind everybody to have a great day. Thank everybody for watching, and we will see you on the next video. And as always, may the Force be with you. And speeding back to my baby, and I don't mean maybe. Rest easy, Ace. Have a great day, everybody. There's an old man living cold and poor. Feels like there's nothing to give. There's a young boy crossing by his path, reflecting